Hi everyone, Sheree here. Today I thought I'd make a card using the Jeana stamp set with this month's kit. I just absolutely love this floral stamp here, so I thought I'd have a little bit of a play with stamping and colouring using my stamp pads here and an aqua brush. So I thought I'd just show you how I'm going to do that, and then I'll put the card together to show you the finished product as well. So I've just got my stamp on my clear stamp block, and I'm just using some Ranger archival ink for this. So just getting lots of ink onto that stamp. Okay, now I'm going to work fairly quickly here. I'm going to emboss this with clear embossing powder. So just making sure I get a nice coverage there. So straight on with the clear embossing powder. We'll shake that off. Put that lot back into the jar. Okay. Now I'll just grab my heat gun and heat that one up till it melts and gives a nice lovely black image. Don't know whether you'll see this actually starting to turn. We'll see if you can see it. Taking a little bit of time. There we go, that's just starting to turn on the outside edge there. Almost done. Okay, just a little bit more on those leaves in the centre. Okay. Alright, so to colour this image, I'm just going to use a couple of colours that coordinate really well with the Jeana Kit. Now these are the greens and the mustard in this kit. So it matches pretty well. So what I'm going to do is just start with the yellow. I just use my aqua pen, there's just water in the centre of that, and I'm just going to pick up the colour from the ink pad there. And then simply just start colouring in this image. It's actually a lot of fun. Now because I've used embossing powder, the image has got like a slight raised edge along each of those black lines. So it really does make it a lot easier for colouring without going out of the lines if you're worried about that sort of thing. This is a lot of fun. And if you want more colour in a particular area, just go over that section again. Just if you can see where I've added more of the yellow in certain parts of the flower, it does appear darker. So I'll just also show you. Okay, let's get some scrap. And also show you the green. So I'll keep going with this and finish colouring this image, and then I'll come back and show you how I'm going to put this card together. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so I've now finished colouring the image, and as you can see there's a bit of variation in the depth of colour around the petals and in the stems. So like I mentioned before, I just kept going over those areas until I was happy with the darkness of those colours. So I have also gone around this piece with my sewing machine just to add a little bit of texture. And I also thought I'd mention the names of these inks because I forgot to mention it in my intro. So the yellow is called So Saffron and the green is Wild Wasabi, and they're both from Stampin' Up. Alright, I've also gone ahead and stamped the words Just Happy, which is also from this stamp set. You can see it just up the top there. And I've cut that into a little banner shape, and I've got some foam dots on the back of that one. And I also just typed up the words For You on my typewriter. Oh, it's a bit hard to see there. Doesn't want to focus, but it just says For You. And I've got a little chipboard heart out of the kit. And I did find this little flare in my stash. It says Yay, so I thought I might add that one on as well. So my papers are all cut to size, so I thought I'd just go ahead and put this card together for you. Alright, so I'm thinking I'll have Just Happy there, and the word For You under that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick this For You down, and then I'm going to grab my sewing machine because I want to stitch along that one. Okay, so I'm just going to run a line of stitching along that For You label. Then I can go ahead and pull those threads to the front of the card, and I'll just trim those off. And that really does just add a little bit of extra texture to the front of this card. Okay, so now I've just got a bit of white twine, and I'm just tying that around the center of the card and tying a little bow, and that will just add even more sort of layering and texture. So just playing around to get the cutest little bow I can, and now I can add the words Just Happy just above that twine. Okay, so that's good to go. Next I've got that little flare button, and I'm just going to put a glue dot behind that so it's nice and secure. And I know that will stay on the front now. And with the little chipboard heart, I've run out of my tiny glue dots, so I'm just using double-sided tape on the back of this one. And it's just going to the top left there. Alright, so I'm going to now attach this to that mustard coloured paper, and to do that I'm using some foam tape on the back of this, so that'll add dimension as well as helping to keep that twine secure on the card as well, so it's not going to move around. So just remove those backing pieces, and I'll centre that as best I can onto that mustard coloured paper. And now just using double-sided tape around the back of this one, and then I can attach it to that diagonal stripe. So just around the edge and then down the centre is all it needs. Okay, so I centre that onto that diagonal stripe, and then I'm just going to attach this to the front of a pre-made white card, and this card is ready to go. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing how I've put this one together. It was really fun having a play with those stamps and colouring with inks. Let me know if you've got any questions. I'll pop a link down below to Felicity Jane, and I'll be back again really soon with another project to share. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye for now.